So you're making music with AI, and you've definitely heard of Suno, right? It's an incredible tool. But in that rush to create your next masterpiece, did you actually read the fine print? Let's be real, probably not. And that's exactly why we're here. We are going to break down Suno's entire terms of service so you know exactly what you own, what you're giving up, and how you can create with total peace of mind.
Look, we've all done it. That massive wall of legal text pops up, and all you can think about is making music. You just want to get to the good stuff, so you click agree, and boom, you're in. Well, today we're going to fix that. We've read the whole thing for you, and we're turning all that dense legal speak into a super clear, simple guide. By the time we're done, you'll get it.
All right, first things first. The moment you start using Suno, like any part of it, guess what? You've entered into a legally binding contract. This isn't just a list of suggestions, it's the fundamental agreement between you and the company Suno Inc.
And we're not just talking about their website. This thing is broad. If you've ever used Suno on Discord or through one of their apps, you're on the hook for these exact same terms. The main takeaway here is super simple. If you use it, you've agreed to it. Your use is your acceptance.
And here's something you really got to remember. These rules can change. They're not set in stone. Suno can update them whenever they want. Now, they say they'll let you know about any big material changes, but at the end of the day, the responsibility is on you. If they update the terms and you keep making music, you're automatically agreeing to the new rules.
All right, let's get to the big one. The million-dollar question every single creator wants to know. After the AI generates that incredible track, who actually owns it? This next part is the absolute core of the entire agreement, so let's dive in.
First, to understand how ownership works, we have to speak their language. Suno breaks everything down into two main buckets. Submissions. That's all the stuff you bring to the table, your prompts, your lyrics, your ideas. Then there's output. That's what the AI spits back out, the finished song. Simple, right? But that distinction is everything.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because who owns the music totally depends on your subscription. If you're on the free tier, you do not own the music. What you get is a license to use it for personal stuff, and you have to give Suno credit. But if you're a paid Pro or Premier user, Suno assigns its ownership rights over to you. That's the magic phrase that lets you use it commercially, like on Spotify or in a YouTube video.
Okay, but hold on. Here comes a huge legal asterisk, and you need to listen up. Even if you pay, Suno is very clear that they cannot guarantee you'll get a legal copyright for your song. Why? Well, because the laws around AI-generated art are brand new, and nobody really knows how they'll shake out in court. So while Suno gives you their claim to the song, whether the government will recognize you as the official copyright holder is a massive open question. It's a risk.
So what are you giving them in return? Well, by using the service, you're granting Suno a really broad, worldwide, and permanent license to use both your submissions and your output. Now, that might sound a little scary, but it's pretty standard for these AI platforms. They need these permissions to actually run the service, to train their AI models, and even to promote Suno using the cool music that people like you are making.
All right, so we've covered ownership. Now, let's talk about the rules of the game. What are you actually allowed to create? Because using a powerful tool like this comes with some pretty big responsibilities.
Look, most of this is pretty straightforward, common sense stuff. Rule 1, don't use copyrighted lyrics or music that you don't have the rights to. Rule 2, keep it clean, nothing illegal, hateful, or obscene. Rule 3, don't impersonate another artist or act like Suno has officially endorsed your track. And finally, you can't take their tech and try to build your own version of Suno. Makes sense, right?
So what if someone accuses you of stealing their copyrighted work? Suno uses the standard DMCA takedown process. The person who owns the copyright files an official claim, and Suno will likely take your content down while they investigate. You then get a chance to file what's called a counter notice to argue that it was a mistake. If the other person doesn't sue you, Suno might put your song back up. It's a serious process.
All right, let's switch gears and talk about the money. How payments, subscriptions, and all that good stuff works according to the terms.
So just to hammer this point home, the tier you're on changes everything. Remember, the free and basic plans are really just for having fun and personal projects. It's the Pro and Premier tiers that you absolutely need if you want to go commercial.
Okay, a few key things to remember when you pull out your credit card. First, Suno uses Stripe to handle payments, so you're dealing with them. Second, your subscription will auto-renew, so if you want to stop it, you have to cancel at least 7 days before the renewal date. And this is a big one, no refunds. The terms are crystal clear that all payments are final.
All right, we're headed into the final section now. And honestly, this is the most serious part of the whole agreement. This is what happens when there's a big legal problem or something goes wrong with your account.
You'll see this part in all caps in the actual terms. And believe me, they do that for a reason. You really need to pay attention here. By clicking agree, you're also agreeing to something called arbitration.
So, what on earth is arbitration? Well, it's a huge deal. You are giving up your right to sue Suno in a normal court with a judge and a jury. You are also giving up the right to team up with other users in a class action lawsuit. Instead, if you have a problem, it gets handled privately by a neutral third party, and whatever they decide is final. Seriously, this is one of the biggest rights you give away.
And last but not least, and this one is pretty harsh, Suno has the right to suspend or just flat out delete your account at any time for any reason they want, and they don't even have to tell you it's coming. That could mean losing access to all the music you've ever made on the platform. It's just a reminder that at the end of the day, you're playing in their sandbox. So, after wading through all that legal stuff, what's the takeaway? The point of this wasn't to scare you away from using Suno. It's about empowering you. Because when you understand the rules of the road, who owns what, what's okay and what's not, and what happens if things go south, you can use this amazing tool with your eyes wide open. You can create with confidence, because now you know the terms.